Hey everybody, here's another quick note to self video. Let me know if these are helpful, by the way. You know, so I'm just basically picking on one position, one mistake that I make, and remind myself by talking to you about it, so that in future I may remember it. Okay, so this is another one. Again, I'm playing somebody low rated, 100 points low rated, 5-minute blitz. I've got the black pieces, and we go into a Latvian with Latvian Gambit with F5. Now, my opponent, I actually win this game. I'll show you the end because it's not very long. Accepts the Gambit one of two ways, that is to take this pawn with the pawn. Okay, and then like with the Russo and the Calabrese and the Janish and whatever, if they accept the pawn, then invariably you'll just push e4 to gain tempo on this knight, like in the Vienna Gambit, and you gain some advantage that way. At some point this pawn's going to move, you're going to recapture the pawn, and happy days. So, knight comes in to d4, and the move here is queen f6. The idea, what to remember is I want to hit the pawn and the knight. And the most common move here, by the way, is c3. They don't want to abandon the pawn, right? And they don't want to have to retreat the knight, which would mean abandoning the pawn. So what do? You can't bring this bishop out to defend it. There's nothing else that can defend it. So c3 is the most common move here. Now, my opponent blunders and plays bishop c4, so I steal his knight. Haha! Doing very well. Now, of course, we have this unguarded, but this is not an issue. Or is it? Okay. Queen h5 check now comes. And I play the correct move, which is g6. Now, I'm here thinking, I'm sitting very smug, right? So this is like, pre-coffee, first thing in the morning, iPad blitz practice, and I'm sitting here smug because I know my queen is on this diagonal. So if takes and takes, and he takes my rook, haha! Now you've just got your queen taken, I've already got your horse, And so I'm sitting thinking, this will be over in a second. And so I take back, hitting the queen. Go on then, take the rook. Go on then, take the rook. He takes the pawn with check, right? And now I'm thinking, oh, bugger, right? So I play king d8. He now grabs my knight, and I can't recapture it. So the piece that I just won is now unwon. So what do? Well, the best form of defense is attack. Not all the time, sometimes. So bishop c5, and I'm simply threatening to come down here and force his king there. So queen now comes back with check. I block with the bishop. Queen comes up here. I hit with the bishop again. Queen. So white's now thinking this game could be won. So probably doesn't want to get into a repetition situation. So drops the queen back down to g6. I'm now thinking I want to bring my knight out round here and fork these two pieces, because that will force the queen away, and then I've got two attackers on the bishop, isn't it? Yeah. Another idea is maybe fianchetto this bishop and castle that way. Having forgotten, of course, that I've already moved my king. He hits my queen. I drop the queen back, right? Maintaining this diagonal, and also maintaining my control over these three squares, because I don't want white to start checking my king again. He retreats his bishop out of harm's way, and now I bring my knight round here. Anyway, I think it's no bad thing for the king to have some cover, and it hits the queen, so it comes with tempo. My opponent's down to 2 minutes 22. Opponent brings in the queen. I start to think about fianchettoing my bishop, and happily castling and developing my other rook. So in fact, but no, so I decide actually bishop a6 is a better move. Reason is it prevents him from castling short. And he's not going to be castling long in a hurry, because A, his knight can't come there, it can only come here, and he's going to need to move a pawn, and then move his bishop. And it's not going to be that pawn, because there's a bishop in the way. Is it going to be this pawn? Doubt it, right? So he ain't castling queenside, right? So putting my bishop here means he ain't castling kingside either, right? So he brings his knight out to there. I decide to castle and figure out I can't. So then I'm going to have to do it manually. All right, so now I saw this move. I thought he's going to come in and try and fork my queen and bishop. I take him out with my light squared bishop. He recaptures. I put my king here. And my opponent blunders with castles and gets checkmated. All right, but here is the point. Let's go through this again. Okay, this is all good. This is all good. This move, well, it's clearly a blunder. I have to take the knight. Okay, now queen here, and we're actually all right here. Like I say, pawn takes, and this is my blunder. My blunder is to capture with the pawn, assuming makes an ass out of you and me. Right, assuming he's going to fall for this, and he doesn't, of course, because he's not a dummy. Okay, what should I do here? What I should do here is the other move, knight f6. Knight f6, attacking the checking piece. Right? So then if he comes forward, I can take the queen. Right? If he takes and queens, no good. If he comes here and queens, same difference. Right? And I'm +6 here, by the way. Right? I'm up a queen for an exchange, basically. And, of course, he can't take here either. I might even take the rook there, you know? And then checkmate him on the next move. So one to remember, in this situation, you have to watch out for simply queen recaptures. Unless you've got another piece on there, then the move is knight out, preparing to capture the queen, and so basically this pawn push or even pawn takes here is just not playable. So there you go, just little tidbits to remember, and that's how we get stronger. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. See you later.